All right, we are back. We have got a media review for She-Hulk Attorney at Law. As you see on the screen right here, we're going to be talking about episode 5 today. If you have not caught up, we are working on trying to get that to where you can actually go into the feed and get caught up on the series and take a look at that and everything. Now, before I get going into all this, I always start this off the exact same way. We will be spoiling this thing. So, spoiler alert, spoiler alert. Inner Hulk on. Spoiler alert. Save that for later. All right, so She-Hulk Attorney at Law, episode 5. It goes directly off of where it left on episode 4. So if you've watched that one and you're still paying attention to what's going on with this one, you'll know what's happening here. We left with Titania was putting in a lawsuit against She-Hulk for using her name because of copyright violation. I had to take a moment on that one too myself. It's a living, breathing, you know, walking. I don't know. I don't know how you do that. Anyway, so to have fun with this, we went ahead and proved that the court systems will actually go for anything on this, and they did, where they actually said that they have a court case on this one that she could actually lose her name. Anyway, I, I'm trying. So she gets a lawyer because she can't represent herself, and they proceed to go to court against Titania because of the She-Hulk line of uh, beauty products. I'm trying to say this with a straight face. I swear I am. She-Hulk line of beauty products. Got it. Okay. She's in court. She's trying to figure this out. The judge says, there's actually kind of a case against you because you said you never wanted to use the name, because they had a clip about that whenever she was ticked off and talking to the media, because the media can get the best out of you sometimes and the worst. It's a fine gray area line. So she gets with the lawyer because they have, I believe, like 2 days to figure that out on what they're going to do. There's only one way that she can prove that she was She-Hulk before Titania trademarked the name, and that's to go back to those horrible uh, dating app dates that she did with those guys. Oh yeah, she brings them into the courtroom, and they proceed to go ahead and tell the story how they dated She-Hulk, and she ends up winning her case, and everything's good, great, and wonderful in the world. And Titania is told to go ahead and take down everything that has to do with She-Hulk. That's winning in the court system right there. Yes. Just gonna let you know, Demon Phil, don't copyright that. That's me. That's who I am. I go by that like forever. So don't. That being said, so not only is She-Hulk in legal form, but she's starting to adopt it as who she actually is. To the point where now she is told that she has to have a uniform, something that'll fit her better than the clothes that she's been wearing. Because let's face it, whenever she goes to She-Hulk and she's wearing uh, the business suits that she wears, they fit very well on She-Hulk, very well. And whenever she were downgrades, I don't know what you say, to Jennifer Walters, it's it's like an Oompa Loompa took over her clothing. I don't know how else to put that. It looks funny because sleeves are hanging off of her hands, and she's waddling around where the mini skirt is actually almost all the way down to her ankles. So she goes to a guy that specializes in superhero uniforms. Pretty freaking funny as far as the guy is concerned on how high level he thinks he is and what he's dealt with, and he may have actually dealt with some of them. And we saw at the end of the show, one of them, we're going to talk about that here in just a second, but she ends up getting, I believe he handed her like a suit or something like that in there for one, and then he's like, and I made this one extra, don't say anything, it's just something I gave you extra, and puts it in there. So very much hoping it's either the white or the purple or the green suit or whatever it is that she regularly wears, the jumpsuit thing, so we can see the nostalgia portion of it. Now, before she leaves this place, she happens to look over into it's one of those hat basket looking deals. Sure enough, there is the helm of Daredevil, but it's yellow. Yeah, you heard me correctly. We've already heard about Daredevil is going to be a very long series that'll be on. It's also going to be Daredevil Reborn. It is not a season 4. It is not a reboot. It is a reborn. We're going with the yellow and the brown color on there is what it looks like. What are we doing? I want to know. I'll be watching the next episode to definitely find out. Now, what did I think about this episode? It was fun. All of them are fun. There was nothing that I really took from the end of this and was like, oh, well, I'll do better in my life and become a better person because I watched this show. It just means I really want to go ahead and make sure that everything's trademarked up to and including my own spit at times so that no one else can, go ahead and reproduce that in DNA form and actually clone me somehow, some way. You really don't want to do that, by the way. You do not want to clone me. See, breaking fourth wall. I can do that too. So it was a lot of fun. I have one negative about this show, and this is the first negative that I've had, aside from the Wrecking Crew. We've already talked about that from episode 3, I believe. Every episode leading up to this has had an end credit scene. We're looking forward to it. It's there. It's a blast. Something stupid, something fun, something fast. Nothing. Marvel. Why did we not do an end credit scene on this one? We could have. I understand the Daredevil thing was a big deal, and we want to really focus on that and all, but that wasn't an end credit scene. That you go to your end credits, start showing who did it, and you do the drawing storyboard, which looks really cool. Kind of shows the story back in like a comic form as it's being drawn, which is great. And then right at the very end of that, before you go into all the weird languages of everything that has copyrights and everything on there, there's an end credit scene. Where was it? Because I didn't see it. I did not see it. And I want to see one. I feel like I have been ripped off on this one. I need an end credit scene. I know we already had the twerking. We already had all the other stuff. So I don't know if because everybody's griping about it, they were starting to cut off the end credit scenes. And if that's the case, yeah, all of you Karens need to shut it. I want my end credit scenes. I don't care if they're goofy. I don't care if they're stupid. I don't care if they don't make any sense. They're end credit scenes. They're fun. Stop griping about everything so that Marvel will keep doing what they're doing. I like it. A lot of people like it. So shh, and let us enjoy all together. So that being said, that is this episode. I'll be here next week to go ahead and show you the next episode as well. I'm not sure. I believe we're getting close to the end of the season on this, and we'll see what happens and see if we can go ahead and get a recap on that as well once everything's all said and done. But until then, go ahead and keep watching everything that's out there and go ahead and let me know what's in your watch list.